If you're looking for a taste of the outback and you don't really want to leave Victoria, did you know there are two really good national parks right here in Victoria's Mallee region that might be worth an explore?
Hattah-Kulkyne and the Pink Lakes. And right now we are standing on the edge of Lake Crosby, one of the famous Pink Lakes, with 1.3 million of our friendly flies.
And we're trying to work out which is the best park. Is it the Pink Lakes or is it Hattah-Kulkyne? Tonight we're going to be cooking an easy one-pan kind of camping dinner. It's like a flat-out spring roll. So you need some rice paper, and we've got some coleslaw. We've got some duck because it's quite good to take when you're travelling because it's got a long shelf life. So we've got the duck and I'll heat that up in a minute. But first of all, we're going to make the pancake batter, which is so easy because it's really just 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of water. Then we just have to mix it all together. And then we just toss the coleslaw in. Stir it all around. That's the inside good to go. Give the duck a bit of a go in the fry pan. So I'll chop that up in just a second, bang it in the fry pan, warm it up. All right, so we've just given the duck a bit of a quick brown and warm up in the pan. So we're going to take that out for a minute so that we can get our spring roll base ready. I'm going to put some of the spring roll paper just straight into the pan, and then I'm going to put some of the coleslaw mix on the top with a bit of duck on top of that. All right, so on goes the coleslaw mix. You can actually put some extra hoisin sauce into this if you want to make it extra saucy.
Did you bring the hoisin sauce?
Oh, I didn't bring any hoisin sauce.
Oh, what are we doing this for without hoisin sauce? What a waste.
I have got soy sauce. A very small fridge. There's a limit to how many bits and pieces you can stick in your fridge. So we'll have to just make do with soy sauce. So we put this on the top, and then once it's all started to cook down nicely and get all crispy, we're going to put another spring roll wrapper on the top and flip it over. Now we have discovered that if we make this one a little bit wet before we put it on the top, it makes it a bit easier to work with. So I'm just going to leave that one soak for a minute. Well, we've just put the second layer of rice paper on. You can see it's looking a bit sticky on the top here. This is always the piece that's a bit challenging. So trying to flip this over so it doesn't go every which way. Hopefully back far enough and we're all good.
Oh, nailed it for the camera.
If only it happened that well when we do it normally. Pop a bit of mayo and soy sauce on the top. Bob's your uncle. One flat out kind of spring rolly thing. Whip him out. Pop him on the plate. Cut him up, ready to share. A little bit of mayo. And there you have it. It's kind of like okonomiyaki does a spring roll, but nice and easy and quick and tasty.
here we are at the Pink Lakes National Park. And we got here fairly early this morning from our last stop because we made a little change of plans and we settled in fairly quickly. We were a little bit concerned that we might have had too many billions of flies because we've had a few places on this trip where there's been a lot of flies. And there's a few around, as you can see, but not as bad as some other places. And we got out and we checked things out and we thought, oh, this will do it. Not too many flies. We'll be able to spend the afternoon here and have a bit of an investigate. A bit warm, 30 degrees.
It's all right, good
few
for reading a
flies,
book.
but we've got the rest of our firewood. It's our last night on the road. We'll have a lovely big red gum fire. We'll watch the lakes be pink, although they look pretty white to me. We'll go for a walk and maybe in a minute we'll get in the car, put the air conditioning on, and we will check out the Salt Works and the Outdoor Salt Works Museum.
Whatever that might look like.
If there's a museum to be found, Susan's bound to find it.
You could be lucky.
We've set up the camper on the edge of Lake Crosby and it's a fairly sparse campsite, I would suggest. Not a lot of trees. We did find a little bit of shade. It's been a hot day, it's been 30 degrees in October and yeah, look, it's a pleasant enough spot except for
The flies and the feral bees.
the flies have been crazy today. They have not stopped. It is 7:15 and they are still pretty thick, although this is the best they've been all day.
They've been relentless.
But worst of all, there were feral European honeybees all over the place. And as soon as they get a sniff of any moisture, anything wet, they are all over it. And we took the lid off the esky that had some water in it and they drank probably 5 inches of water out of the bottom of the esky over the afternoon. And they dead set did. I've got bees at home. I've watched them drink out of our pond and these things just came from everywhere. But we're out here filming really to get away from the bees. We've had enough. And if we'd probably thought that it was going to be this fly in October, well, maybe it's like this in every October. We don't normally travel in October. We may not have stopped today, but I think the next few hours will be nice.
Fingers crossed.
We're going to have a lovely fire and watch the sun go down, cook a few burgers, sit back and relax and have 3 hours where we're not brushing or swatting.
Now, one of the advantages of this park is that you don't have to pay to camp here. So you don't have to book, you don't have to pay for a site, you just rock up. If you're going to stay at Hattah-Kulkyne, you will need to book and you do need to pay.
But we've had a lovely time, been a bit hot and a bit flyy, but we're going to have a lovely night, sit around the fire, have some dinner and watch this sunset.
And if you are coming to this park, make sure you do the drive, the Pioneer Drive, all the way around the lake. There's a number of lakes in the area. Some of them are pinker than others. So make sure you go for a drive just so that you can check out which one might be the pinkest when you're here. The pink is caused by some algae who live under there and create that little bit of pink.
Let's get some shots of the sunset, walk around on this crispy, salty crust, before we go back and sit around the fire.
It's like walking on a frozen lake. If you didn't know that you're actually in the middle of Victoria's Outback, you could imagine that you were on a frozen lake somewhere in Lapland. It's got a really strange look to it, so pretty cool. If you're coming up to this park, stop in Ouyen because there is a ripping bakery there. So we had a really great lunch there. So if you like a bakery, and we don't mind a bakery, then the one in Ouyen was certainly worth the stop. It's off the main road though, so you do need to come into the town.